Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel again. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I am providing you with updates to my course. I'm also going to be covering a topic that I'm going to do like a mini series of videos, and I'm hoping that that will be helpful to some. So if you're interested in hearing about what I'm going to be doing, please stay tuned. Please note that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. So in my last video, I asked for suggestions. I have a lot of content on my channel already, and I'm looking for other things. I had one student respond to that and say, hey, do you mind maybe adding a few more things to the program? So this is what I'm going to be adding to the program. I hesitated on doing this initially when I made the course because I know that there are some people that don't like to do research. As much as I stress that, not every case is the same. Bankruptcy, although it is a federal case, there are situations where there are different local interpretations. So some forms may not be exactly the same, okay? I have to keep saying that because there's somebody that's not going to listen to that. They're going to take that file that I'm going to provide you with, and they're going to try to use it in different districts, and it's going to have one district's name when you're trying to work in another. So please, just let that be the example, okay? It's just the example that I'm providing you with in the program. And for example, what am I talking about? The case that we cover in the program is a sample case from beginning to end. I do show you how to fill in the documents, what it should say, but what I did not include is the actual filled in documents. Let's say we actually did get that deal and we were mailing it to the court, what exactly order and everything that I put that in. So I'm going to provide you with that in a PDF file. I'm going to provide two. One, if you're a business and you're doing this, this is the typical way that I usually mail out things. And if you're doing it as an individual, what you usually should put, okay? Now I'm saying what you usually should put because, again, if you're doing this in Missouri or Illinois or Massachusetts, there are different local rules. Please go to the instructions, okay? There are some common threads, but that's why you have me here. So I'm giving you a clear example. You try to plug it in for your case, and then you shoot me an email and said, hey, Spring, I try to follow it. Is this the right format? I'm going to appreciate that if you do that. All right, so that is what I'm including. Basically, the case file for the example from step 1, 2, 3, the order that I put the documents in, okay? And that is going to be in lesson 9. Lesson 9 is what covers mailing things to the court and finalizing the case, essentially. Another thing that I'm going to include is basically questions and answers, typical questions that clients ask on the phone, and basically what it should say. I don't like to do live calls. I think one of my first 2 or 3 videos, I did an actual live call, and then later on I realized I don't think I'm supposed to be recording people without their knowledge. And if someone knows that you're recording them, for informational purposes or whatever, they may not want to continue the call. Because you can tell if someone is working on behalf of a large company like a collection agency or something, or if they're just an individual, that may hinder them from wanting to even talk to you. So I'm not going to do live calls. But I am going to go over a conversation, essentially what questions may come up and how you should respond to those. Keep in mind, this is all a blueprint, It's not an exact science for unclaimed funds. The way you sell a house to someone is not going to be the same things that you're going to say to somebody else. It's going to be slightly different. Everybody's needs are different, and everybody's case is different, right? So again, you're using this as a blueprint. You can deviate, you can change as you want. This is generally what I say when questions like this come up. And keep in mind, every case is different. All right, so I'm going to be including that in the bonus section if you're interested in questions and answers to the client. All right, so this concludes this video. We're going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to talk about what mini series of videos I'm going to do next, and I'll see you in the next slide. Hi everyone, so in this video, as I mentioned, I'm going over a new series that I'm going to be creating, and I have called this the Cliff Notes for the Lazy Asset Locator, right? Essentially, it's going to be 5 videos where I'm covering all of the states and Puerto Rico. I'm going to give you, this time, top 3 attorneys that you could reach out to in each state. I'm going to provide you with 1 business attorney, 1 bankruptcy attorney, and 1 real estate. So if you're doing real estate overages and you're trying to figure out what attorney, I'm going to give you the top 1 in each state. This is just a place for you to start, right? Some people don't like to do research, and you have to a certain degree. You have to do research as an asset locator. But this is a little push for you to kind of get started. You have some of the information already readily available to you, and then you take it from there, right? In addition to attorneys, I'm going to be providing you with the top 3 banks in, each particular state. And that's good to know too, because not every state has, the big ones. Some only have like First National Bank, or may have like a little generic bank that's only in one particular area. But maybe they do online services for, business checking, right? And you're in an area where you're having a hard time trying to find a business checking. You may be able to just do one online in another state. Anyway, I wanted to provide you with banking information, top 3 banks or best banks in that district. And I also wanted to provide you with mobile notary services for each district, or each state rather. Okay, so the YouTube channel is going to be, again, 5 videos. They're going to have 10 states in each video. The last video is going to have 1 for Puerto Rico. And I'm going to provide you with attorneys information and all that thing. Now, if you're in my course, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to provide you with 5 of each, 5 attorneys. They're going to be different than the ones that I put on here. Well, actually, just in additional ones. I'll provide you with 2 extra ones, basically, but I'm going to put it on a nice chart for you so that you can have access to it, provide you with 5 additional mobile apps and best banks. So you'll have a little bit more, and then you'll be able to print this off. It'll be on a chart for you. All right. So I'm doing this again to help those that are a little bit lazy. It's the new year. You should be motivated to continue to try hard to do this type of business, to get started. If you've had my program for maybe a year and you haven't really logged in, well, this is a little push for you to get started. What are you waiting for? If it's the research part, you don't know where to start or who to contact, I'm providing you with some of that information so that you can get going. Now, the information that I'm providing you with is sort of accurate for January 2022. If you're doing this at a future time, some people may leave, some mobile notary services may close. Information is always changing. This is a place to start, right? Another thing that I wanted to provide you with, or just say to you, is that this is just a blueprint or a starting point, right? Just because you call one lawyer or you call a mobile notary service, they're like, oh my God, they're so busy. I don't know why you gave me their number. Well, that's one office, right? Now you're motivated to do more. So maybe call the other ones on the other list, email people, start getting into the habit of doing your research, reaching out to people, and being more assertive if you're someone who's not naturally like that. This is giving you sort of a checklist to do before you even get started. Or maybe you are started and you're having issues with finding a bank or mobile notary services. You feel like that will help you more. Or maybe you're wanting to even get into mobile notary services and you're trying to figure out like who's doing it in that area to ask information. I don't know. People are on here for different things. Okay. So I'm providing you with that as well. Now, I'm not going to have the list for my students for a while because I'm doing all this information and I have to gather it. So even though you may see the videos start popping up, I'm not going to be complete with the total list for each state yet for my students, but I'm going to be working on that, and I'll let you know when that's available when I provide you with another update to the program. All right, so I'm hoping that this is, some information that you can use. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. If you have any topics on what you would like for me to add, please let me know. Send me an email, springsolutionsllc@gmail.com, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.